This is my story. Why didn't you heal Becky? I mean, I understand the Bible enough that, I was asked the question one day by her, why? Why me? What did I do to deserve this? I said, it's not about that. I said, I could give you a biblical answer for that, but that's not going to make you feel any better. And so I know the biblical answers, okay? Um, but I see healing happen all the time. So I want to know why not her, you know, and and Lori has asked the same question of Kenny's accident, and we say, well, maybe it's what we didn't know and didn't know what was coming down the road for both of us to be together one day and be able to have what we have today and be able to walk together with our spiritual walk and such. So I think it's a tough question and I know the biblical answer sometimes for things, but that doesn't necessarily make us feel any better. I went to Caterpillar as a mid-career hire. I already had a half a career somewhere else. Um, that's good and that's bad. What's bad about it is sometimes people within the organization uh, treat you differently because you're not one of them. You didn't grow up in the company. You just got here, some by some other means, and somehow you didn't earn the spot where you're at. And I did advance quickly because Caterpillar valued what I learned at Blawnox with asphalt paving. And I was very fortunate that the CAT looked at it that way. And I'm not going to say they gave me anything. However, I had a peer that was also a product support supervisor of another product within our group. We sat together in the same two-person cubicle. He really didn't give me the time of day. I mean, you could tell that it was like I just wasn't worthy to even be in that cubicle with him, and that was fine. I mean, I managed to live in that environment, and he wasn't a bad person. It's just the feeling I got from him, and it didn't change who I was or who I was going to be. He got another job one day prior to me leaving Caterpillar and moved to Arizona. So no communication with him for a few years. After Becky passed, my niece had talked me into joining Facebook, which I'd never done, and I did. And sometime after that, this guy messages me through Messenger, because if you don't have somebody's phone number, you can still message them through Facebook Messenger. It's like using a cell phone. And said that he had learned that Becky had passed and he was sorry and was offering his sympathy there and stuff. And it was kind of late one night because he's in Arizona and I was ready to go to bed and I was living alone, And I started sharing with him songs, Christian songs, because music is what really kind of got me through. I'm a music person, and there's a lot of good Christian songs about loss. And but then I started giving him some Bible verses that were big verses for me that kind of helped me. And we just kept going back and forth. And he said, yeah, but I like this verse. And he was telling me a verse. And we just kept going back and forth. And he eventually got to the point that he said, you know, I didn't treat you really good at Caterpillar, but he said, I watched you every day. And he said, I saw, I knew who you were and who you claimed to be. And I saw that every day. And in an environment that is very difficult from time to time to still kind of hold fast to your values and not get caught up with the language everybody else is using and the attitude everybody else is having and stuff. And he said, I just it encouraged me every day to see you act like who you said you were, and you backed it up. And I really got to thinking about that, and thought, and I didn't know where he was in his walk or anything, and quite honestly, I didn't even think he went to church, and he was quoting verses to me and stuff, and it would have been nice to have had some of that conversation with him at work, but I tell people all the time that people watch you and your life, how you act, how you react, things that come out of your mouth, things that don't come out of your mouth, all of that is who you are. And if you claim to be a follower of Christ, but your actions don't support that, how damaging that is to people. And I think the Bible is pretty clear about that too, and what happens, when you do that sort of thing. And I'm not saying that I lead a perfect life, but what I hope at the end of the day, that people that know me say, he's a good guy, and he does the right things. He says the right things, and when he doesn't, he makes good on it. He makes it right, and I think that's all we can do. And I think at the end of the day, if that's how you're viewed, then I feel like that I've accomplished what I think God wants me to do here on this earth.